Hello and welcome to episode 22 of the Flagstaff County podcast. I'm Cary Castagna, Communications Coordinator for Flagstaff County. If you're not already, be sure to keep up with Flagstaff County on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, as well as the Flagstaff County website at flagstaff.ab.ca. You're listening to the official podcast of Flagstaff County. All right, so I am joined today by Lyssa Mossestad, Vice President for the Flagstaff Scottish Club and Event Coordinator for the Gathering of the Clans Highland Festival, as well as Karli Grove, Treasurer of the Flagstaff Scottish Club and Media Manager for the Gathering. Welcome, Lyssa and Karli.
Howdy. Hello.
Today we're going to talk about the third annual gathering of the Clans Highland Festival, which runs Saturday, August 21st at the Wild Rose Co-op Recreation Center in Sedgwick. First off, for those who may not know, what is the Gathering of the Clans Highland Festival all about?
So to start, the Gathering of the Clans Highland Festival is quite a mouthful.
It's a mouthful.
It is. So colloquially, we call it either Gotchif or the Gathering. So Gotchif is about basically just Scottish culture. Us as the Flagstaff Scottish Club really enjoyed going to the Highland Games, that other events and stuff that happened in Alberta or in BC. But we wanted to put an emphasis more on the Scottish cultures, the histories, the demonstrations, why those events happened, and what the history and the details behind that was. So that's what we do.
Without all the emphasis on competition and mainly focusing on all the fun parts.
Now let's run through the highlights and give people an idea of what they can expect this year, starting with the heavy events, which I know all too well after, muscling through them in 2019, at least in my own mind, I muscled through them. But what can you tell us about the heavy events?
So typically at a Highland Games, there is the heavy events competition, which involves pro Scottish athletes who do this professionally. But because we're taking the competition side away a little bit, we have those pros come in. They do the demonstrations, they give a little bit of history, and then we have 8 slots open and available for, we call them our novices, to come in, sign up, they'll get taught how to do it, and then in the afternoon they will actually compete, and we run a little heavy events competition.
A lot of the events, even some people say they're similar to the track and field ones that they've grown up with. So one like the putting the stone is very similar to shot. Which one is it?
Putting the stone.
Is it putting the stone? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, there you go. When I look at the wording, it looks like... When I write it down, it looks like putting.
Like shot put.
Putting the stone. You are... Okay, you're placing the stone, you're putting the stone.
Through the air.
Yeah. Very quickly, like shot put. But because it's a Scottish festival, it's with a stone. Because you're in the Highlands. You gotta do with what you got. But then there's other ones that are very much not like track and field, like the classic caber toss, which, to give you a visual, is kind of like tossing a power pole sometimes into the air and trying to make it do a nice 180 in front of you. At our gathering, we don't do power pole size. It's... Cary, how tall would you say it is?
I can't remember, but I will vouch for the fact that it is not an easy... It's not an easy accomplishment, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we got a couple others too. Lyssa knows more about them than I do.
So the 5 that we at our event run through is the caber toss, that's the telephone pole one. Stone put, which is a stone that's about 10 to 25 pounds. The Scottish hammer throw, which is again 10 to 20 pounds. There's the weight throw, which is just throwing a 15 to 50 pound weight, depending on which division and stuff you would fall in. These ones will be much lighter. We won't make you throw the 50 pound weight. And then our final one that we do is the weight over bar.
Next up on the list of highlights are the artisan vendors.
So we put an emphasis on artisan, handmade, crafted items. So we have a vendor village. Right now I've got about 40 applicants in that range. Applications are definitely still open if you kind of fall within that category. And it's just basically an outdoor market, but we try and make it a little bit more like medievally fair inspired.
Then we've got demonstrators. Does that include any fire-breathing exploits this year?
It does. We do have the fire breathers coming back this year, as well as a few others we've added to. One is a blacksmith that we have coming in with his medieval style forge, and he will be forging and doing demonstrations, selling the odd thing and talking about some of the histories and stuff there. We have Heck of a Dog Home coming in, and she is bringing 3 to 4 Irish wolfhounds to talk about the history and some of the traits and stuff of them. We have Highland cows and a surprise baby calf coming, as well as Chicken John's petting zoo again this year.
Very cool. The audience will also be treated to the Battle River pipes and drums.
We've been working really hard to get back into like performance ready shape. We had to take quite a big break there for a while, so we've been practicing every week trying to get back. This will be our 2-year anniversary of debuting the band at our second gathering.
Okay, and then up next is the Highland Dancers. Can you talk a little bit about them?
I can. So at most Highland games, the Highland dancers come and they compete and do very specific routines. At our event this year, we have the Beaumont School of Highland Dance coming, and they are going to perform the dances and then give a little bit of history as to how those dances were choreographed, why they do those dances, and then give you a little bit of a demonstration and go about the history of all of that.
Then there's also food trucks and a pig roast supper, and it's all topped off with a Karli, otherwise known as a dance.
That is correct. We have all seasons pig roast and catering from Red Deer coming in, and they are doing our kind of almost now our patented pig roast supper to end our gathering, as well as our Karli. It's going to be performed this year by Cabot's Crossing, and basically it's just a big party at the end of the night to really round out a fun day.
Well, that sounds like a jam-packed day. Is there anything else you'd like to mention?
There definitely is. Right now, we are still looking for some volunteers for the event. If you volunteer for a couple hours, you will get a discount on the all-day package, so you can get everything throughout the day for a discounted price. If the vendor village is something that interests you, the applications for that are on our website, as well as the heavy events. If that's something that interests you and you would like to participate in that, the application for that is also up on our website.
And where can we go for tickets?
So you can get tickets at www.flagstaffscottishclub.com and /Gotchif, GOTCHF. And that'll have all of the details that we were talking about earlier, as well as tickets. And right now we have 2 types of tickets available. We have gate admission, which is if you're wanting to attend any of the stuff that Lyssa was talking about earlier, that happened from 10 o'clock until about 4 o'clock. So that's the demonstrators, the artisan vendors, the heavy events, and the vendor village. And then if you're wanting to experience everything, if you're wanting to experience all the day events, plus the pig roast supper, plus the Karli, we have an all-day package available. And because we need to notify the caterer of numbers for the supper, we would love for the public, if you're interested, to purchase tickets by August 12th. So that gives us a bit of time to notify the caterer, and it'll be great. I am so excited. We were so bummed we couldn't have this last year, and we typically have more time to plan, so otherwise we would have been able to share the specific schedule of events at this time. But if you follow our Facebook event, or if you buy tickets, you will get notified of when the schedule is finalized, and then you can plan your day and make sure that you maximize on everything that you want to experience.
Sounds like fun. I'll be there. Thank you, Lyssa and Karli.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The 3rd annual gathering of the Clans Highland Festival, Saturday, August 21st at the Wild Rose Co-op Recreation Center in Sedgwick.
Hey!